I'm kind of regretting that I didn't use that front mount in the rear. I have no idea what kind of mods I'm going to have to make. I think the wheelbase is slightly different from what I've checked, but I have that Revell Ford Raptor body. I'm going to make it fit the SCX24 Jeep. I'm thinking I might have to get some links for it. Probably build links first, and then maybe go get actual ones once I figure out what works best. Let's get into it. We're going to start by pulling the body. There's 2 screws in the back here. I'm going to pull the bumper too, just because. All right. So it looks like that is a really good fit, actually. I need to get the rest of the body pieces out and see how this is going to bolt up. I may have to pull the front bumper also, because this body actually has a front bumper that comes with it, which means I'm going to have to take the lights off. Maybe I'll figure out how to get lights on this too. That'd be great. I've got the model put together as much as I'm going to, which is basically just the body. Here is the interior, which is very deep. Maybe one day I'll build one of these with an interior, but that is really high. And then your body goes on top of that. That's like a mud truck, just tall, which, I don't know, might have some appeal to it. Not using the interior for now. So that leaves a problem with the bed. I don't want that to be open. This is a 1/16 of an inch thick ABS plastic sheet. You can just get it on Amazon. I cut it with a bandsaw because I have one and it's very, very easy. I cut that to fit, and all I'm gonna do is hot glue it on the inside so I can remove it in the future if I decide to do something different. But yeah, well, just looks like a bed cover. Works out really, really well. I'm also gonna need to take at least the front bumper off of the chassis, maybe the rear bumper too, figure out how to get those mounted. And I'll probably mount them direct to the body so that it just comes off with the body, and I don't have to worry about it. What do you think? It's not done. Basically, I have these 2 pieces. These are my body posts, if you will, body mount posts. They're gonna go here on top of this piece I already cut, and I'm gonna screw them through from the bottom. I decided, because of the ride height I want, between 2 magnets where I want the body to sit, plus double-sided tape to hold them. I might use hot glue later on, but right now we're going double-sided tape. These are 14 millimeters from this surface, which actually work out to be the exact same height as the old body posts. I guess if you had a C10, that would be the body post. No, they all hinge from the back. Anyway, because I've got that back hinge removed, now I've got a nice plate here to mount things like a hitch or something. I was gonna do the same thing up front here by bolting something into these holes of the rails, and then I realized the servo needs to pass through there. So I was gonna cut a U shape to kind of go around the servo, and then I'm like, well, why don't I just put a post going up? But if it's on the inside, it's gonna still run into the servo. I'll put it on the outside. And then I went, you know what? I've already got a body mount here, and based on the height that I want, I can just stick magnets here and here, or even the higher point in the middle, and that'll be perfect. And then I got to thinking, if I had a second one of these, I could just stick it in the back and put my magnets on there. So if you're doing this project, just get a second one of these. I'm already too deep into it, so I'm not doing that. But get a second front body mount for your Jeep. If you're using a Jeep, if there's other body mounts that work better, use that. Just stick it in there, you can stick your magnets on top of it, and then your bed will come in contact with that point right there. Did it, it's on. It's very secure. Almost looks like a spoiler. But I've got my 2 screws there, holding my blocks, and my 2 screws here. holding the plate, I found it was easier to just remove the whole rear end so that I could get this on the drill press and drill through both sides. Makes for nice square, straight holes. Body mounts are done. I've got my double-sided tape on all four corners. In the rear, I actually doubled over the double-sided tape so that I get a little bit more height out of it. The more I've worked on this, the more I've decided just get a second one of these mounts back here, because then you can also adjust the height as you need to. So that's the other reason I went with this up front, so that if I need a little more or a little less height, I can do that. I like to leave the backing on these so that I can take the body and put it on, make sure it's gonna fit properly. It's going to sit the way I want it. I can slide it around, say, yep, that's where I want it. Then I'm gonna peel these off and very carefully set it down so that it hits the right spot. And obviously if it doesn't hit the right spot, I can just peel off the double-sided tape, start over. All right, it is done. This is so sick looking. I love this truck. It looks like it's a little higher in the front than it is in the back. Maybe I can drop the front down a little bit or stretch those rear springs. They look like they've been squashed a little bit. What a good looking truck. Now I need to get some LEDs in there. I want to put some right in here for fog lights and then figure out a way to make this look good. Maybe just scratch off the paint in a little circle in there. And then tail lights also. That'll be a little more difficult because that's molded hard plastic. It's not clear plastic. And it just pops right off. I have found that if you pull slowly on it, you're more likely to remove the double-sided tape. If you go quick, the magnets let go and the double-sided tape sticks much, much better. And that's what we've got. Definitely though, just get another one of these mounts and put it right in there. Save you tons of time. The big thing with this body is gonna be cutting out a piece of plastic to go in here for your bed cover, and then your magnets just go there. Taking off the lower portion of the chassis, so you've got the rear bumper, and I just hot glued that, as you can see. And then the front bumper actually took a lot of fitting. I cut this, I don't know, at least 6 times to make sure it cleared the servo. And even after I got the magnets mounted, I still took a little bit more off. But it's beautiful. A little bit of rubbing, I guess. Maybe that's something we can address later on. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do a running video of this later on, but that is like a quick and dirty way of how to mount the Raptor Revell 120th, I think they call it a 125th scale body on an SCX24. The Jeep wheelbase seems to work really, really well with this. The wheelbase of the Jeep might be a tad bit short for the body, but you almost don't even notice. I would say that I think the deadbolt is shorter, and that wheelbase is probably too short for this body, so you'd need some different lengths for it. Thanks for watching. That is a real quick and dirty way to get magnetic mounts on a Ford Raptor body on your SCX24. I'm kind of regretting that I didn't use that front mount in the rear, because maybe I will in the future. Maybe I'll just go and get one, because it doesn't quite sit level and I've got no way to adjust it. I'm locked in, so I'd have to build a new piece to adjust that. But still sick. I love this thing. We'll see you later.